All right, let's finish up with our winners and losers of the weekend. As always, Ted, kick us off. Who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
Arizona State?
What?
What is happening? Out of nowhere. They've come from nowhere. Currently 8-2. Okay. They're sitting in third place in the Big 12. And it's looking like the Big 12 is going to be a one bid team or a one bid conference. But, anyways, they're sitting there at number three. Who do they have this week? BYU, after just beating K State, number 16 K State in Manhattan 24-14. They've won three straight. They got a chance against BYU at home, the number six BYU team. And if they knock them off, they're going to be playing in the Big 12 championship if they can close out against Arizona. Crazy that Arizona State has just been fighting and fighting, and here they are at the end of the season, and they have a legitimate chance to go to the playoff. How crazy is that?
It is. It has always baffled me. Let me back up. I trained for the combine in Tempe. And we would, every once in a while, we'd go to dinner close to campus. What was it called? Like Mill Avenue. They got all these bars everywhere. It blew my mind that Arizona State was not good at football. And I think they finally have a coach in Kenny Dillingham who cares about the place. Like that's his
That's
alma
where he
mater.
that's where he wants to coach. Yeah.
That's where he wants to coach. He's putting everything he's got into it. Like what did they go 3-9 last year? But there was no question that that guy was like living and dying for that program. And I just feel like they finally have the right guy, Ted. I
3 and
remember
9.
when they hired Herm Edwards, I was just so confused because I was thinking about the dynamics of the campus, the reputation of the university, like the type of coach that could use that to his advantage. And Herm Edwards was not that guy in my mind. Kenny Dillingham is that guy. You know how old Kenny Dillingham is?
He's
He's
young.
my age. He's
Yeah.
34 and just crushing it. I'm psyched for that guy. I think that's the most important thing. I think they got the right coach.
Yeah. It's funny. I know his sister pretty well. And when I met him, he was like, I think he was like a quality control at a junior college or something in Arizona, or maybe he was still coaching in high school, and that wasn't very long ago. I mean, the next thing I know is like, oh, he's at Florida State. Oh, he's the offensive coordinator. Oh, he's at Oregon. Like it all happened really fast, and here he is. He's performing, and his team is bought in. And Levitt at quarterback's done some really good things. Everyone, I love Scatterboo at running back. It's a fun team to watch.
Scadabo's awesome.
Yep.
I think he's one of the more entertaining players to watch in all of college football. But solid quarterback play. I think they're really well coached. Dude, they just went into Manhattan and make no mistake about it. That game was I was watching it. It was 21-0 at halftime.
Yep.
They went into K-State. They went into the Little Apple and pushed them around. I
Yep.
hope Chris Kleiman's okay. Did you see that after the game?
Uh-uh.
He in his post-game press conference, he was it's like getting emotional. He was like, it's been a really tough 2 weeks for me. I told the older guys I let him down. I don't know what's going on, but I hope he's all right
Oh,
because I think he's an excellent man
yeah.
and a really good football coach. I don't like what he's done with the offensive and defensive systems there at Kansas State, but I hope the guy's okay.
Well, it's
But
two
Avery
back-to-back
Johnson,
bad losses.
Avery Johnson is, dare I say, he's just a guy. I I just don't see it, man. 24-40. 258, two interceptions,
He's just a
21 yards
guy that
rushing.
turns it over too much.
I, I just don't see it. Kansas
Hmm.
State's running RPOs. Bring back two tight ends and power.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And I'm not trying to diminish Arizona State's win in any way. That was impressive, man.
Yeah,
Because remember, they just got to this conference.
just got here.
And
And you're
Kansas
right.
State is not, that is not an easy place to play.
3-9 football team last year. 8-2 right now, with a chance to knock off the top team in the conference, 9-1 BYU, and maybe be fighting. They can close off against Arizona, fight and get into the Big 12 championship against Colorado. And who knows?
Are they still under, from the Herm Edwards stuff, are they still, do they have all their scholarships? I don't remember what the
There's
sanctions were.
there's something there, but I'm with you. I don't remember exactly what it is.
I don't know, but Kenny Dillingham's doing a hell of a job.
Yes, he is.
Arizona State, we saw, Ted, what did we say that Indiana should do for Kurt Signetti?
Pay the
Got to
man.
got to pay the man. You got to lock that man in. What'd they do? They paid that man. They locked him in. I think what through 2032, he's making $8 million locked in. Sigs ripping Sigs for a long time there. Bloomington. I someone tell me why Arizona State shouldn't do the exact same thing with Kenny Dillingham.
Have to, especially like I don't know how like this year you don't know exactly how it's going to finish out, but they're 8-2. Things are moving positive. You know you've got your guy. You're not looking anywhere else. You're going to be defending other people coming in trying to take him. You just got to lock the man up, right? That's it. Lock him up.
His base salary this year is 3.95 million. That's got to go up.
Double it.
You need to make him one of the higher paid guys in the Big 12. Because he wants
It's
to
worth
be
it.
there.
And it's worth it. It's worth it. If you want a top guy, if you want to win, that's what it's going to cost anyways. Just do it.
I think they're going to do it.
Yep, they will.
Who do you have as your loser of the weekend?
I got to go with the Big 12 and the ACC, man. All of a sudden, you look at the playoff and it looks like there's no avoiding the Big 12 and the ACC being one bid conferences.
The BYU loss hurt.
It hurt
It hurt the Big 12 real bad.
real bad.
All it took was a Jalen Daniels pooch putt that hits a BYU player in the air. That was crazy.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy. Uh, you're sitting here and you've got all of a sudden the highest ranked team in the Big 12 is, according to the AP now, number 14 BYU. Highest ranked team in the ACC is number 11 Miami, with 13 SMU close behind. So you've actually got Miami, Boise State, SMU, BYU, all right there 11, 12, 13, 14, and then Colorado at 16. So, like, they're all right there in a pack. And there's only going to be three make it out of all those teams. And I say three. Boise State has the best chance. But if Army could beat Notre Dame this week, look out.
That Army Tulane American title game is going to be could be very, very significant.
Yep. Yep.
Now we'll see what happens with Boise State out there in the Mountain West, but
I will say this
and that
about,
one's already set. It's going to
yeah.
be Army Tulane.
What I like is Army Tulane are 18 and 20 right now. And South Carolina, who's still in the fight as well, is 19. This is the AP. So you're 18, 19, 20, and even Arizona State at 21. All of those teams are still in the fight to make a playoff. We got 2 weeks of college football left. I mean, this is kind of what we wanted, right?
This is what I was hoping for.
Right.
More fan bases, more teams feeling like they got a shot in the last couple of weeks in November. And you're right, Ted. That's exactly what we're getting. What else could you ask for if you're a college football fan?
That's it.
Well,
Is this
you could ask for your team to be
right?
in the mix. That'd be nice.
I feel like it's like it's the late 40s with Army and Notre Dame, late season, perhaps like a natty on the line or something. It's funny. I love it. It's awesome.
I It's going to be so interesting to see how the SEC thing checks out. The Big Ten is clear. There's, I think that everyone can acknowledge that, hey, Oregon's got things rolling, even though Wisconsin gave them all that they wanted.
Yeah. Kind of
Very
choked up.
interesting call on the fake field goal. I actually didn't mind it as much as other people did. But you've got Oregon, Indiana, Ohio State, and Penn State. It's hard to imagine that all four of those teams at this point, as long as Indiana doesn't just get played off the field against Ohio State, it's hard to imagine that with the situations in the ACC and the Big 12, that all four of those teams aren't going to be in the playoff. And then you're probably getting 5 SEC teams. You're going to get your G5, and then you're going to get one from the ACC and one from the Big 12.
Yeah. This week is going to be awesome. You've got Indiana, Ohio State, playoff implications for sure in that one. You've got Notre Dame, Army. We talked about that. Playoff implications in that. Colorado at Kansas. Look out. Kansas is playing some football, man. They're playing some football. Like, that's going to be a big one. We got some
Did you see the
playoff.
spread for that game?
I've got it right here. Colorado 2.5.
Buckle up, people.
Yep. I mean, this is playoff elimination weekend already. And everyone, I mean, there's some other teams that are in the conversation right now, but just cannot afford to lose. Like Alabama's going on the road to play Oklahoma. They're a 2-touchdown favorite, not going to be considered much of a threat to lose that game, but you're going on the road to play at Oklahoma. So there's some other games around the country that are kind of scary like that for some teams that still have an opportunity. We already talked about the BYU Arizona State game. So yeah, man, it's awesome. Good stuff.
Texas A&M Auburn. Texas A&M 2.5-point favorite.
Yeah, see, that's a surprising one, but
Watch out.
they're one of those teams that you don't you like you feel like they've gotten over that hump, but you don't know how much you trust it just yet, right?
Exactly. Although I do not like betting against Mike Elko. I have established that on here.
Yeah.
Let's finish up with my winner and loser. But first,
we're brought to you by Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code OKBreakdown to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. Make your picks in less than 30 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long at Prize Picks. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. This week, I'm looking at the football board and selecting Joe Mixon, more than 86.5 rushing yards, and CeeDee Lamb, with more than point 0.5 rushing yards on Monday Night Football. Prize Picks puts its members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When your picks hit, you can get your money in as quick as 15 minutes. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code OKBreakdown to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
And we are brought to you by Mando. Mando is American made and is our new go-to for hygiene products. Hygiene's important, people. We're all about efficiency and traveling light, which is why we love Mando's 4-in-1 acidified cleansing bar. It's a 5-ounce bar that does the work of a shampoo, face wash, body wash, and deodorant. Use code OKBreakdown at shopmando.com. But let's be real. It's been a stressful season around here. Stressful season in the state of Oklahoma, Ted. And when you're stressed, you sweat, which is why you need Mando's whole body deodorant. It's safe to use anywhere on your body, and it is aluminum free and dye free. I've been using the Mount Fuji scent. Really like it. And my wife told me I had smelled manly the first time I put it on. Still haven't forgotten that. It was awesome. And luckily, I have a discount code to help you get hooked on the best smelling whole body deodorant on the market. New customers get $5 off on a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use code OKBreakdown at shopmando.com. SHOPMANDO.com and use code OKBreakdown. My winner of the weekend, thought about going with Travis Hunter. Yeah, the guy gave up a touchdown pass. He plays corner. It happens. But he's also going to win the Heisman Trophy.
You think so?
I think it's a done deal. Had that circus catch, had the rushing touchdown. He had an interception. It was just right place, right time interception. But the dude played like every snap of the game until the last couple of drives of the game.
Yeah.
I will say, they missed one golden opportunity to build his Heisman campaign. They should have had him lead the happy birthday to the 100-year-old lady that they say. Did you see that? That was the sweetest thing ever. She was crying. Oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah, you got to take all those opportunities you
Right?
can, man.
Right?
It's marketing.
Colorado's 8-2.
Crazy.
Playing some good football, man. Got explosive playmakers at the skill positions. Defense is, I mean, it's not great, but it's solid. It looks like they're going to go win the Big 12 title. That's how it looks to me. They look like the best team in that league.
Their defense has some players now. That backer 41, really good player. Got D Lyman that's doing some good things. Like, shockingly, they've got it together.
My win of the weekend, however, Florida.
Yeah.
It's hard to be 5-5 and feel pretty good about the future, but I think that's where Florida is right now, Ted.
Yeah. Getting Lagway back and healthy is going to be big for them.
They smoked LSU. What was it, 27-16? It didn't feel that close. To me, DJ Lagway looked. Don't be fooled by the stat line. What was it? I think he only completed like 50% of his passes. But there was about 5 completions in that game where I went, oh. Need a couple go balls. He just drops it in the bucket. He had this one out route where it looked like the ball was shot out of a cannon. A huge play early in the fourth quarter. Play action fake. Looks like he's about to get sacked by both edge guys. He steps up into the pocket and like on the run just throws a 40-yard laser that gets him down to the 1.
He's got some stuff, man. He's got some stuff. Consistency, if he gets the consistency and, the defense figures it out, they're going to be dangerous. They're going to be a hard out. I know they've got Ole Miss left. Who else? That Ole Miss game's this week.
And then they got
That's
Florida
another
State.
big one, man. Then Florida State. Yeah. Real
Florida's
bowl game.
defense, they did a great job of forcing field goals against LSU. What, they kick four, hit 3 of 4? Ramos. But in all seriousness, it has not been a good stretch for Florida football. But the administration comes out and backs Billy Napier. They then it kind of felt like they just conceded the Texas game a little bit,
Yeah.
which, hey, okay. But I think the notion was, hey, they're going all in on the LSU game. And, well, they looked pretty dang good. I mean, they looked like a competent football team with a quarterback that has an incredibly bright future. And that swamp looked like those people were having a good time. So maybe we do get an interesting one between Ole Miss and Florida this weekend. I don't know, but
Feels like Ole Miss is just too solid on both sides of the ball, right?
yeah.
But hey, this year, Ole Miss included, I mean, they have that stinker game at Kentucky. Okay. So, I mean, it feels like they're much more locked in at the time, consistent, but you we've said or I've said this all year. It's the closest I've seen between the top of conferences and the bottom of conferences. And I say the bottom. I mean, Florida is 3-4 in conference. There's 4 teams below them. We happen to be one of them, but um, I you feel like they're kind of in that group that could jump up and bite someone at any given moment.
Emory Jones, right tackle for LSU in that game, had his time to shine. Ball was in his hands. Guy kind of looked like he thought he was going to go score. That is how I was interpreting the body language, and then fumble. Just a
Emory Jones, wasn't that Florida's quarterback a couple
and
years
then
ago?
yeah, and then it was Cincinnati's quarterback. Different guy,
That's right. Huh. Interesting.
but
He didn't go from Cincinnati's quarterback to LSU's right tackle.
no, unfortunately not. But he is just a tragic moment for O linemen everywhere. Fumble. He had his moment, Ted. I was very sad for him.
Yeah. You can almost see whenever they've got the ball and they're running with it, you can almost like see through the helmet what their face is looking like. Probably smiling, laughing, eyes big. Here it comes. Here's my moment. Not so fast.
It was actually a pretty big play in the football game as well, but
Yeah.
it was a sad moment for offensive linemen everywhere. My loser of the weekend, Netflix. Have we ever talked about boxing on here?
I don't think so.
Ever?
I don't think so.
Are you into boxing?
No. No,
Neither am
no.
I.
I'm I will watch. Well, I say I will. I haven't in a long time, but I've watched some of like the big heavyweight fights. I watched
I think the last boxing match I watched was maybe Pacquiao Mayweather in college.
I watched Mayweather and Conor McGregor. That was entertaining. I watched a couple of the recent I say recent within the last 5 years, that some of the heavyweight bouts, but that's really it.
The Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight was a catastrophic failure for Netflix.
It
Not
wasn't.
for those two guys. Those two guys, I assume, got cut massive checks.
I think 40 for Jake Paul and 20 for Tyson, if I'm not mistaken.
But for Netflix, what an absolute disaster. No one could watch this damn fight. We all could see Mike Tyson's butt cheeks, apparently, but no one could actually watch the fight.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny.
Tyson's butt cheeks or maybe the best thing that happened because it's distracting people from how big of a disaster this was.
You could watch the cheeks in the locker room in 4K perfectly, but not the fight.
The best part, I love you. The exchange of the kiss and then the transition into the butt cheeks was just incredible. It was art.
Uh,
But I I thought it was just me for a second, and then I got on X. Person after person after person after person could not watch this fight. Buffering. Screens on Netflix I've never seen. I didn't know these screens existed. I eventually was watching live on YouTube of someone that was streaming the Jumbotron at Jerry World, and there's some random guy who I have no idea who he was commenting on it, what we're all watching on the Jumbotron.
Pretty well done, considering.
No, no. But Netflix didn't work at our house until like the end of the seventh round.
Oh my gosh.
And how about this? I got a question for you, Ted. When your server or what I don't know the technical terms.
Mhm.
When you're having that type of disaster, don't you just have to let people illegally stream it so we can actually watch the fight? They were still shutting down like all of these illegal streams.
Yeah, I guess.
And then
Whenever
they had the gall to come out and be like, 60 million households watched the fight. No, they didn't, bro. They were like, it
60,
peaked. The release said that peaked at 65 million concurrent streams. Nope. False. About,
there was 65 million people were screaming at their television.
yeah. We were all staring at some random screen that eventually ended up in a speed check and Netflix. Hey, thanks for telling me I have great internet. Thanks, Netflix. Yeah, I know.
You think it was just they weren't set up for the volume or what?
I don't know. But from what I understood, this was like the dress rehearsal for them to broadcast those NFL games on Christmas. And it could not have gone worse. You mess up Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. That's one thing. You mess up Chiefs Steelers on Christmas Day, buddy, watch out. I
Yeah.
just that you do not mess with the National Football League in this country.
No. No. Yeah, that
Ravens
was
Texans that day too. They've got a doubleheader on Christmas.
you failed the dress rehearsal. You better get things in order. I don't know. I don't know what. I mean, it has to be traffic. Well, I guess I say that. I don't know what's it related to. Let's blame it on Jerry Jones. But I don't know. I purposely did not watch it because I had a feeling it was going to make me sad. The fight. I don't want to watch some YouTube dude beat up like
A 58-year-old.
yeah, but it's like going out there and watching a bunch of people's like everyone talks about Tyson and what he was like when at his best. Like it wouldn't it be just was it depressing to watch that fight with Tyson? I don't know. I feel like it would have been. I haven't even seen the highlights of it.
You didn't miss a lot. There were a couple moments where Tyson got him a little bit, and you're like, okay. But you just kind of faded it. And I don't know anything about boxing. It felt like a fight that lasted 8 rounds that probably shouldn't have.
Yeah.
That's how it felt to me.
A lot of people are saying that it's clear that Tyson didn't even try.
The videos that got a lot of people so excited for this of Tyson training, it did not look like those videos
Right.
at all.
Which, maybe those videos were because he did get super sick, right? Had some ulcers or something. I don't know, but Netflix better get their house in order before they go to the NFL. Streaming YouTube fighters, boxing matches is one thing, but I mean, when you look at what is it every year, like the 15 of the top 20 most watched things on television are all NFL football games, right?
Yeah,
So,
people really love the NFL.
especially around that time I mean, those games are going to be NFL playoff. Like there's going to be stuff on the line, home field or whatever, maybe even a playoff berth, but they better get their house in order.
I saw a tweet from, I think it was Trill Withers, and I can't find it right now, but it basically was like if Tyson loses to Jake Paul, a piece of his childhood dies. It's
That's
like
what I'm
if
saying.
it's
Yeah.
like if Michael Jordan got crossed up by Mr. Beast, is what he said. it's it's it is the hardest I've laughed at a tweet in a while.
That is so funny. Wow. Now,
So
Jake
good.
Paul, he's been training boxing for like 10 years now, basically, though. I'm not saying he's any good, but it's not like he's pulling YouTube stunts and then all of a sudden he's fighting Mike Tyson. I mean, he's been ramping up to this for a while.
It was not it was not a wildly entertaining fight, but I cannot believe that it went the way that it went for Netflix. It was crazy. And hey, Mike Tyson's butt cheeks. We'll always have that. That clip, that meme will live forever.
That's the thing that's going to live out of this is the butt cheeks. It reminds me of uh Dominic Raiola with the Detroit Lions. We had like a they were playing like a pregame hype video one time, and it had Dom. There was a heavy bag upstairs in the weight room, and they're playing like some music, and he's like facing the camera, and he says a couple of things like about the fight that we're going to be in this week, and he like turns around and starts hitting the heavy bag, and the camera zooms out, and he's all he's wearing is the jock strap. It was the funniest thing because it went like from being super serious to him, and all you can see is the cheeks whenever he's hitting the heavy bag. Pretty funny.
The old NFL, baby. Those were the days.